Hello, I'm Carmel McCarthy from EMS Associates, Health and Safety Consultants. The current COVID-19 pandemic has drastically changed all of our lives. One day we were sitting in our offices at our desks working, and the next day we're at the kitchen table with a laptop trying to work productively. This, coupled with children being off school trying to get homework done, has really put pressure on workspace and on living space in all of our homes. Over the next couple of minutes, I'm going to show you how you can set up your workspace at your kitchen table and also at a desk at home if you're lucky enough to have one. The first thing we'll talk about is the chair-desk relationship. In this instance, it's the chair-table relationship. You don't have an office chair, you don't have a desk, so we're going to improvise with a kitchen chair. Now, sitting at any chair, well, usually for a long period of time, we feel that our back starts to ache. So support the small of the back, or the lumbar region on the back, because that will help you sit properly, because sitting properly means sitting with the ear, shoulder and hip in a line, and the feet placed firmly on the ground. If your feet aren't firmly on the ground, if you find that your leg is sloping down towards the ground, then use a footrest. You won't have a footrest available at home, so therefore you use a box. Use something that you can improvise again to raise your feet up so that at the knee joint you have a 90 to 100 degree angle, which gives for better comfort and better leg posture and leg support. When it comes to the setting up of the keyboard, it's important that there's enough space for the user of the keyboard to place their arms and their hands resting on the space in front of it. And also then that the legs on the keyboard are flat in order to maintain neutral wrist posture here, because if we have our hands flexed, it could lead to problems with carpal tunnel syndrome and other aches and pains. So just to leave the keyboard flat at all times. Make sure too that both the keyboard and mouse, that if you have one that is wired, that the mouse is easily movable, because at times if the wire gets stuck, it means you're restricted in your movement, so it's important that that moves. The other thing that you've got to bear in mind in the setup of the keyboard and mouse is keeping this clean. Set up your keyboard and laptop directly in front of you, and I'm saying keyboard and laptop because ideally you should have a separate keyboard and mouse to the laptop. Using the laptop on its own will mean that the screen will be too low and you'll tend to stoop. Your head will drop over the keyboard on the laptop. That will result in pains in your neck. So we've it raised up here today with the the laptop raised here on a laptop riser. But you can improvise again. You can use books, you can stack some books, make sure it's sturdy and bring them right up to the angle you need it at. The ideal angle is where the user of the laptop has a view of about 2 inches from the top of the screen. So that's keeping their head directly straight. Their eyes will hit the 2 inches from the top of the screen. This will apply to any screen, but in this instance it's the laptop screen. Also, the distance of the screen away from the user, if you extend your arm out, it should be approximately arm's length away. It's recommended that every 20 minutes we should pick something 20 feet away and look at it for 20 seconds. This helps the eyes refocus, because we can get a lot of fatigue and blurred vision from looking at screens all the time. If you have a desk at home and you go to set up your workstation there and are lucky enough to have an additional monitor, make sure that you set your laptop up at the same height as the monitor, so that you're not going to and from the monitor down to the laptop, that your head isn't going up and down, because that can cause pain in the neck. Again, if you don't have a laptop riser, put the laptop up on books the same way with your monitor. You can put it up on a few books, that it's at the optimal viewing height suited to you, as we previously mentioned. Again, your keyboard should be directly in front of the main monitor that you're using. When it comes to setting up your chair at your desk, and this is a standard office chair, 5-star base on casters. Remember, if you have casters and it's on a wooden floor, there is a risk of the chair going from underneath you. So I would suggest you make sure that the casters are suitable for using on a wooden floor, or place a mat or a rug underneath it. Again, with office chairs, they should be adjustable in height, the backs of the seat angle, and also the seat itself. With the back angle here, or the back of the chair, you bring it up until you can hear it going up on the ratchet. You bring it up until it fits into the small of your back, or the lumbar area of your back, to give the support. That's important. And again, that the back rest is angled enough so that it goes with the natural curve of the back, and that's where you'll be sitting again, with your ear, shoulder and hip in a line. And then the height, once again, as we discussed before, has to be that you can place your feet firmly on the floor, or on a footrest, or if you don't have a footrest, on a box. But again, you have to make sure that the relationship of the chair to the desk is important. Also, if you don't have sufficient light in your home office, it should be ideally at a lux level of 300 to 500, which is measured in offices, but you won't have the opportunity to measure it at home. I would say that if you feel you haven't enough light, do use a small desk light, but make sure that when you shine it onto the work area, not onto the monitor or any of the screens. Again, it's ideal to have natural light coming in from a window, but once again, bear in mind your setup. Don't set yourself up with your back to the window, because then you'll get reflection onto your screens, which will make for visual discomfort. Overall, again, as I said before, it's making the best of what you have, but if you set that up, it should help reduce any discomfort, neck pain, shoulder pain, arm pain, etc., which is what it's all about. I hope you found some of the DSE tips that I have given you to be of benefit, and that they will help you in setting up your workstation, either at your kitchen table or at your desk in your home office. The important thing is to get up each day prepared for work. Have your shower, get dressed, put on makeup if you normally wear it, but don't turn up in the pyjamas, because you'll still be in them at lunchtime. It's getting work-life balance is the vital thing here, and looking after your health and your well-being. On behalf of EMS and Associates, thank you for taking the time to watch. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll all get through this together.
Go.